Pardon the hair, this is just my air dried hair. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I wanted to do this makeup tutorial for you guys today. Hopefully you guys like it. I feel like this is a great lead into summer. It's got a ton of coral and orange colors to it. It's actually done with a drugstore palette, and the pigmentation that you get from this palette is absolutely ridiculous. So I hope you guys like it. All of the information about what I use is going to be in the bar below. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again for the love and support, and let's get to it. So what I'm starting with is my new favorite thing, the Urban Decay Prep Spray. I'm going to spray that all over. Try not to get in my eyes. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the Hourglass Veil. It's the primer. Put that all over my face. I sped this part up because it doesn't really matter much. You can use any primer you have. Now I'm just going to control these brows a little bit. They do tend to get a little wily, and they don't have a whole lot of pigment to them because I'm pretty blonde. So just fill them in. I'm using the Browzing by Benefit. I'm just doing both sides, making sure they're even. Of course, they're going to be sisters, not twins. Just saying. Just filling in that tail end right there. I'm using a spoolie to kind of blend in all of the product I put in my brows. Clear gel as always, because I do have those long ones. They tend to get out of control. So now I'm going to go ahead and put on some under eye concealer, much needed under eye concealer, and as always pulling it all the way down my face, covering the redness and discoloration. I'm taking a Sigma brush, fluffy brush, and just working that into the skin. This brush tends to have a lot of fallout, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now what I'm doing is using the Makeup Forever HD powder. This powder is awesome for setting underneath the eyes. I use it with all my liquid foundation as well as my under eye concealer. Now I'm using True Match. I actually just got this and I wanted to see how it was going to work. And dancing, liking the music that's going on while I'm doing this in the morning. Using a round top kabuki from Sigma to really buff the rest of that out. It's like putting on war paint, I feel like. And then of course blending everything out quickly. I wish makeup would go this fast. Only this part. So now I'm putting on some Eyelid Primer, and we're going to do that on both sides and make sure that all of this is nice and coated so that I get true pigment from the palette that I'm going to use. On top of this, I'm actually going to start using the NYX pencil and milk and really kind of coat this as well. I really want to get a nice white base because I really want to be able to see the pigment of what I'm doing with this palette. Pigment is really good, but I definitely want to set a pretty good base for it. So now I'm using the Lorac Pro Mega Palette and just using a transition color in there first, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the Wet n Wild palette in California Roll. And I really like this color for a transition. So I'm going to start with the medium orange shade, and I'm going to put that right in the middle of the lid. And there's Ray, just hanging out. I'm going to put this on the other side, right in the middle of the lid, just to get some pigment. Now I'm taking a big fluffy brush and the dark orange color in this palette. I'm working on the outer crease and a little bit into the socket. As you can tell, it's really orange and it's very pigmented, so a little goes a very long way. You don't need to load up the brush too much. And it blends out really nicely as well. So we're going to do that on the other side. And there's a lot of fallout with this too, so just be careful. I had to learn the hard way the first time I did this makeup look. There's just a ton of fallout. So I tend to tap off the brush before I use it. And again, I'm working on the outer crease and a little bit into the socket. So now I'm taking a Real Technique setting brush, and I'm using it just to blend out any harsh edges. I want to make sure this is really nice and blended. Now I'm taking a small stiff brush and I'm going to use the lightest color in this little palette and put that in the inner corners on both sides. And this is just going to give me a little bit more depth, a little bit more character to the eye look. I feel like this is a really nice way of getting some dimension. Then I'm going to also take that medium orange shade and just kind of press that a little bit more and give it a little bit more pigment. I feel like I lose a little bit when I'm doing the inner crease. So now I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and just blending both or all three of those colors all together, just making sure I don't lose the integrity of what I'm trying to do. Now I'm going to take that really pretty green color. It's got a really nice sparkle to it, and I'm going to use a pop of that right underneath my lower lash line. I really like this. It gives it a nice summery look, just something a little different from what you normally see. So then we're going to go ahead and use the magic pencil. That's what I call it, because I love this. I use it for everything, and it's by NYX. It's kind of a cream color, and it just makes your eyes whites look whiter. And now I'm going to tightline the top of my waterline, my upper waterline, and by doing this it's just going to give it a little bit more depth when I put on my mascara. And of course my liquid eyeliner that I am in love with. I use this on every look. I do have gel cream liners that I love, but my liquid eyeliner is my go-to for sure. And I do feel like it does smell fear, so if I am being timid with it, it knows it. So I try to be as aggressive as possible when I'm doing my eyeliner looks. Now I'm using Marc Jacobs mascara. I got this as a little travel size sample, and I really like the formula. It coats the lashes really really well, but it does tend to be a little goopy, so I don't use it on my lower lash line because I feel like I get a lot of clumps, but I really like it for my upper lash line and to really get close to the waterline and make sure that these lashes are all coated evenly without getting a lot of buildup. Of course, my telescopic, love it for my lower lash lines, love this brush. I watched one of my subscribers use this and I fell in love. Now I'm using my chocolate Soleil powder, which again is one of my very favorites, and just contouring slightly to give myself a little bit of extra color and contour in, you know, those very sensitive areas where my fluff is. Now I'm using Malani's Luminoso. I love the peach undertone to this blush. For a drugstore blush, it is amazing. I would recommend it to anybody. I just get a ton of use out of it. Now I'm going to use my I Heart Makeup Blushing Hearts in Peach Kiss. I love these. They are amazing, and they're exact dupes for the Too Faced Blushing Hearts. Super cute, totally affordable. Can't say enough good things. Now I'm using my Almay Nude Light Butter Kiss lipstick. Love these. They're super rich and hydrating. They last all day long, and they've got such pigment for being so sheen. They're perfect. Now this is just a setting spray by Urban Decay, and we are all set. Ready for the day. Alright guys, thank you so much again for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!